while we're talking about polls, I guess we could talk about this polls. Pew Research Center. I'm just gonna water up here, H2O up, while I, you know, get ready for a read here. So this is from pewresearch.org. Pew Research Center, you've probably heard of them. A majority of Americans say the country's best years are behind us. Ahead of the United States' 250th anniversary, 59% of Americans say the country's best years are behind us, while 40% say the best years are still ahead. Americans are also much more pessimistic, 44%, than optimistic, 28%, when asked to think about what things will be like in the US 50 years from now. 30%? That's not good. Another 27% are neither optimistic nor pessimistic, according to a December 2025 survey. Views on whether the country's best years are behind or ahead of us differ somewhat across demographic and political groups. Majorities of Black, 66%, Hispanic, 64%, and white adults, 57%, say the country's best years are behind us, as do 53% of Asian adults. Income. Majorities of adults with lower and middle incomes say the country's best years are behind us, 61%, which makes sense. They're feeling it the most, the squeeze, right? Upper income adults are evenly split. Half say the nation's best years are behind us, half say the best years are still to come. Party. Democrats and those who lean towards the Democratic Party are more likely to say the country's best years are behind us, 64%, rather than ahead, 34%. Republicans and Republican leaners are more evenly divided. 53% say the country's best years are behind us, while 46% say they're ahead. I like how liberals are like, yeah, it's fucked. Like 64% is like it's over. Like I do not see anything good that's happening. How partisan views have changed over time. Views on this question at least partly reflect the political dynamic of the moment. When we asked the same question in a 2014 telephone survey, when the Democratic Party held the White House and the U.S. Senate, Democrats were more likely than Republicans to say the country's best years were in the future, 57% versus 32%. Most Republicans, 64%, and the country's best years had passed. So basically it's flipped, which is interesting. Because when the Democrats had power in 2014, I guess that would be maybe, what was that, Obama? I was too young to know. Is that at the end of Obama, his second term? But they were very optimistic about the future, and now it's completely flipped, where it's like Democrats are not optimistic about the future, and Republicans are basically split. And I think the Trump thing has split the conservatives into these neocons and then these Trumpian people. Due to the difference in survey methodology, the 2014 findings are not directly comparable to the findings from the 2015 survey. So do not take what I just said as fact, because that is wrong. Thank you, survey. That's why we do this, is all of opinion on this stream. Are Americans pessimistic or optimistic about the country's future? When asked to think about what things will be like in the US 50 years from now, many Americans are downbeat. 44% say they feel very or somewhat pessimistic. 28% feel very or somewhat optimistic. 27% feel neither optimistic nor pessimistic. On this question, too, Democrats have a more negative view than Republicans. Half of Democrats say they feel pessimistic about the country's future, compared with 39% of Republicans. Liberal Democrats have particularly gloomy views. 63% are very or somewhat pessimistic, compared with 41% of moderate and conservative Democrats. Opinions among Republicans don't vary as much by ideology. So I like that. Conservative Democrats, like those fucking, who's that guy, that bald guy? What's his name? Fetterman. Yeah, that's his name. He's a fucking conservative Democrat, all right. That's interesting, but I get it. Trump's definitely fucking the world up, so I mean, yeah, it's the squeeze. People are feeling it. People are not happy about where the world is going, you could say.